Reading. Leia leads a brave resistance that will only account for 5 minutes of screen time for a legendary character. Long after you've either finished reading that shit or dismissed it altogether, it's still scrolling by. Dark shadow of an evil ship gives the finger to an audience hoping not to see a remake of A New Hope. Also, if a Star Destroyer's shadow is this large and looming, then it's either super close to this galaxy's sun, or else this is a tiny-ass planet. Or you're just having fun with visuals and don't really care about scale. BB-8 is an obvious attempt to sell toys. Where can I buy one? Here, this is how you close your hand.
Without the Jedi, there can be no balance in the Force.
Funny, since I once heard that Anakin was prophesied to bring balance to the Force, and he weren't no Jedi. Well, not long-term anyway. Look, I realize you don't want to get shot at, but how is taking control of a ship cannon instead of taking off a good idea here? Thankfully for the plot, those two overachiever stormtroopers who shot at him actually damaged his ship enough to keep him from taking off. I guess they missed the memo about how they're supposed to be horrible at aiming.
You take this. It's safer with you than it is with me.
I learned about this from the historical documents. Leia did it 38 years ago, so it should work for us. Also, why is it safer with a dumbass droid than a savvy pro-pilot human being? Couldn't you literally bury it in the sand and it'd be safer than with either one of you assholes? Here, let me mark you so people can tell you're the conflicted stormtrooper. Oh yeah, and before I die, there is another Skywalker.
The map to Skywalker. We know you found it.
Wait a minute, the guy who vanished left behind a map? Like, a physical f***ing map that any asshole could stumble upon and find you with? What this movie should have said at the beginning was Luke Skywalker has set everyone on a scavenger hunt. It's like a mad world in space. I have to take 2 sins off here for Kylo Ren stopping the blaster shot in midair, something we've never seen anyone in a Star Wars movie do.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
Hilarious 2015 style line makes its way into not hilarious scene from a galaxy long ago and far, far away. That guy shot at me and definitely was given the map by the old dude. Let's take him prisoner for later and ignore him for now, even though the map could literally be 5 feet away. Brilliant! Kylo Ren senses the Finn stormtrooper's rebellious thoughts, then does nothing, because he knows Finn is important to the plot later, I guess. While I think it's cool that Kylo Ren stopped this blaster bolt in midair, was he really dedicating some of his dark power to keep it in midair the whole time? That one explosion must mean Poe died. I wish they never programmed depression inside of me. And Poe appears to be the only prisoner they took from the planet. I guess because Kylo was so sure he knew about the map. But then so did Max von Sydow's character, and Kylo just wasted that guy's ass on the planet's surface. So what gives? Finn Trooper walks in here and there is no one on the left side, but as soon as he removes his helmet, boom! Sudden Captain Phasma. In its quest to be unique and Star Warsian, movie unfortunately rips off Oblivion. Discount Tatooine. Why does she park her speeder all the way out here by itself, especially when she has to f***ing drag all this heavy shit a long distance after parking?
What you brought me today is worth 1/4 portion.
GameStop. Rey doesn't know about the 5-count diagonal slash method of line counting. I mean, how are you supposed to count this shit at a glance? This thing probably died because it was trying to walk in a desert. Luckily, BB-8 is found by someone who is profoundly important to the story.
No one has been able to get out of you what you did with the map.
Why waste time with human torture if your resident Sith pupil can just mind extract the information out of the subject? Why not just start with this?
It's in a droid. A BB unit.
Let's leave this prisoner I got that information from alive for now, just in case we all forget that information I just force grabbed from his brain. Definitely don't kill this dude, okay? Got it?
Follow the girl and get that droid.
Damn, dude, you clearly had other customers behind Rey when she left. I mean, after you gave that order, what the f*** else do you have to do?
Ren wants the prisoner.
I know it's hard to believe, but you should totally trust me. He sent the recently disgraced stormtrooper to do that job following 0 protocols. Why in the f***ing f*** is there a tether on this TIE fighter?
Alright, we gotta take out as many of these cannons as we can, or we're not gonna get very far.
Hey, why not just fly perpendicular to the ship? Like, away and shit. Eventually the cannons will be out of range to hit you, right? Do you have to attack them? Or could you maybe just dodge their fire for a few seconds and f***ing leave?
I'm Poe Dameron.
Can we get to the introductions after you're out of danger?
FN-2187 reported to my division, was evaluated and sent to reconditioning.
But obviously not, because he was simply allowed to wander freely about the ship. Somehow upon crash landing, Finn and Poe end up super far away from each other, which is sort of crucial to the plot, but not very logical. Good thing Poe left his jacket behind for no reason, so that Finn could pick it up and be seen by BB-8 later. Is the desert eating this ship? Why didn't it do that to all the other wrecked ships on the planet?
Him.
Instead of just calling out to Finn and maybe trying to talk to him normally, Rey goes into full attack mode immediately because BB-8 thinks he sees Poe's apparently one-of-a-kind brown jacket.
What's your hurry, thief?
Rey apparently works for the Ferguson Police Department.
Luke Skywalker. I thought he was a myth.
But why? Wouldn't he be in all the history books and news and f***ing what? They survived this. Why are the TIE fighters just blowing up everything on the planet? And wouldn't they have strict orders not to do that, since the whole point of this is to get a stupid map? A stupid map that they could easily destroy by doing this
That one's garbage! The garbage will do!
Can the bad guys be close enough to obliterate this one ship and surely notice them running for the Falcon, but not obliterate the Falcon before they can fire it up and take off? Also, Millennium Falcon just happens to be on Jakku for some reason.
You ever fly this thing?
No! This ship hasn't flown in years!
Apparently, every ship in the universe is easy to access, requiring no keys or combinations of any kind, and are ready to fly on a moment's notice. That should be the end of the journey right there.
Nice job!
I'm getting pretty good at this.
That's great, kid. Don't get cocky. Once and removed for awesomeness, and after that there were no more bad guys, even though the Star Destroyer with Kylo Ren and red-headed Hitler was presumably just orbiting this planet and In fact, here's a Star Destroyer just chilling out near Jakku, who did not see Finn and Rey escape the planet in the Falcon, just FYI.
We were unable to acquire the droid on Jakku.
Okay, so this leads to an entertaining scene where Kylo goes ballistic with his Satan Saber and wrecks a bunch of computers. But my question is, all you need is a droid with a map inside it. Why didn't you go down there and get it? Why are you that much of a stickler about letting minions do the work when this map is so important? You could have taken it easily.
The two were accompanied by a girl.
Excessive use of the Force.
Get us there as fast as you can.
I'll drop you two.
Okay, goddammit, I'm gonna remove 3 cents for this. Yay, it's Han Solo and Chewbacca! One question though, why the fuck were they flying around in this system at this very moment in time? They just happened to find their old ship like it was gifted to them. And yeah, they were looking for a signal, but they still got here right when Rey and Finn got into space.
Stay there until I say so, and don't even think about taking the Falcon.
What about BB-8?
Stays with me until I get rid of the gang.
But why? Wouldn't it be safer for BB-8 to stay hidden? Movie earns an extra 10 cents for the colossal waste of talent in hiring the 2 guys from the Raid 2, only to have them say a few lines and get eaten by the spaghetti monster and promptly waste them.
That BB unit, First Order is looking for one just like it.
Well, damn. Han's great plan to have BB-8 with him for reasons unexplained just backfired.
I got a bad feeling about this.
What? You heard those monsters screaming at a distance? Of course you got a bad feeling about this. This is not the kind of strange, odd, bad feeling that classic Star Wars characters have when they go into the unknown. This is a prequel-like bad feeling where the danger is right in front of them. These Rathtars have been gobbling up people left and right, but when it comes to Finn, it's all about stocking the fridge. Well, how does Rey know that this control board will... How did she know that button would close the...
Watch the thrust. We're going out of here at light speed.
But why? Can't you just fly out of here and then do that? And since when do you get so cavalier about light speed?
The droid we seek is aboard the Millennium Falcon, in the hands of your father, Han Solo.
In case you forgot what your father's name was.
We shall see.
By the way, is this the rented space where Thanos and Sinestro conduct all their space conspiracy business? It's at this point you had a nagging feeling in the back of your mind that this whole movie was simply repurposing everything from A New Hope, and you haven't even gotten to the new Death Star yet. This is why you don't bring a highly wanted droid in to discount Mos Eisley. Why does nobody ever think about this shit? Maybe we should have seen this in Return of the Jedi, but Luke decided to bring that Darth Vader mask with him when he escaped the second Death Star, but why? To symbolically burn it in the Ewok bonfire later? The Death Star was going to blow it up anyway, and way better than that fire could. But now Kylo Ren has it, meaning some enterprising Ewok sold that on eBay to Darth Benjamin 1983 since we last saw it.
Like all of them, I was taken from a family I'll never know. In my first battle, I made a choice.
That was his first battle? He's like 30. How f***ing long do stormtroopers train? At what age was he taken? Jesus, this truthful confession only brings up more questions. Also, they sent a rookie stormtrooper to help find Luke's map. Key to Rey's past just happens to be in this remote and random bar. And basically some lightsaber memory voices draw Rey into the cantina basement. Basically. Is this an alarm system? Here at Force Awakens, we handle all your security needs by giving thieves scary glimpses of the past and future that will have everyone arguing about what it means for years. Your thief will be too confused to steal.
That lightsaber was Luke's, and his father's before him.
Huh? You mean the one that he was holding when Vader cut his hand off in Cloud City? You mean someone found that and now it's here? Artifacts from the original trilogy are more easily found than pop-up ads on a porn site.
Today is the end of the Republic.
Because we have finally built a planet moon-sized death machine that cannot be defeated. 3rd time's a charm.
As the last day of the Republic!
If you didn't get the Hitler parallel already, here's some stuff to smack your face with. Also, how does energy this intense, coming from this very technological terror they've constructed, not, at the very least, melt their faces off like Raiders of the Lost Ark? And what's the point of this shit anyway? They blow up 5 planets, none of which we know anything about. And for what? At least when the Empire blew up Alderaan, we knew it was Leia's home planet. Why not just go ahead and blow up several other planets while you're at it and just end this thing? You don't even need to find Luke anymore. So the First Order is coming down to find Luke's map. But how did this plan coincide with their Megadeth Star plans? Why didn't they threaten the 5 planets first? And if they didn't get the map, then they'd cause mass genocide. The First Order might actually be dumber than the Empire.
Where'd you get that?
A good question. For another time.
Well, that's a tidy screenwriter's trick to get out of explaining shit. Hey everybody, let's just mindlessly fire into the building where the map might be. We're giving out wings.
I need a weapon!
You have one!
After all, any Joe Schmo can handle a lightsaber.
I like this thing.
Cute moment, but that's the first time ever that Han has fired Chewie's bowcaster. Seriously?
Raider!
So he has this badass staff thing that can deflect lightsabers and but he still threw down his guns so he could get into a mano-a-mano sword fight, which is some bull.
Forget the droid. We have what we need.
Because Rey definitely memorized that entire map she was shown for 10 seconds earlier and was told was incomplete anyway. So the Resistance swarmed all over this place, but they never once decided to destroy this ship or Kylo's. Yeah, better be sure to kill random stormtroopers running around and not their means of escape. Rey! Goddamn C-3PO. So, Leia should be pretty one with the Force by now, right? She's had a good 30 years, and they made such a big deal about it in the original trilogy that if anything happened to Luke, her untapped Force magic could save the universe. But it appears she's the same old Leia. Still awesome, but not a Jedi.
And even worse, it matches no charted system on record.
I don't know how there's a map of this place, unless Luke spent all this time charting it, then found his way back to civilization, then decided to vanish. The movie so far makes us believe that Luke got upset that Kylo turned to the dark side, and in shame, he vanished. But somehow he left 2 pieces of a map of an uncharted place just before flying away. Why is BB-8 curious about what's under this blanket? Is it so there's yet another crowd-pleasing reveal of R2-D2?
R2-D2 has been in low power mode ever since Master Luke went away.
A metaphor for the entire Star Wars series, actually. If you're a fan of girls, then this moment pulled you straight out of the movie. Adam Driver is a good and appealing actor, but once you do something as unique as his character on that show, the thought of him being a Sith Lord is hilarious.
It's carrying a section of a navigational chart, and we have the rest. Recovered from the archives of the Empire.
So that means the isn't uncharted, as that lying liar C-3PO said just a minute ago?
Then the Resistance must be destroyed before they get to Skywalker.
Why didn't you just destroy them already? You clearly have the power to do it. Why is their ability or non-ability to find Luke so important to that decision? Just do it already.
If what you say about this girl is true, bring her to me.
Why didn't Kylo drag her here in the first place? And if you suspect she has that kind of power, she's probably already convinced Stormtrooper Daniel Craig to set her free.
You will remove these restraints and leave this cell with the door open.
Rey, realizing she might have Jedi powers and attempting to use them on the fly, is one of the best things about this movie, and I'm not even shy about giving a sin off. Kylo's walk back to Rey's cell is the longest walk concocted since Lord of the Rings.
Yes, sir. Weapon charging.
It will only take approximately all the minutes to charge. Welcome to the J.J. Abrams Roadshow. Can you guess how many actors in this scene were once in well-regarded J.J. Abrams TV shows? The clock starts now.
It's another Death Star.
I wish that were the case, Major.
You see, because this new weapon is way larger than the already huge Death Star, it's completely different.
Some kind of thermal oscillator.
There is one. Precinct 47.
Okay, Finn spent time on the Starkiller base as a stormtrooper, but how does he know that shit?
Some things never change.
True. You still drive me crazy.
Star Wars General Hospital.
We're making our landing approach at light speed.
Finn would be amazing at CinemaSins. From the sheer momentum alone, the Falcon should be toast at this point, and it's going to crash through all sorts of shit before it comes to a stop. I mean, we're not talking about a ship merely going fast. It was going faster than the speed of motherfucking light. Time for Hollywood's expert rendition of paper football. Touchdown! Super important Starkiller base. You'd think they'd have surveillance cameras basically everywhere, but they do not. Wait, is there going to be enough room in this compartment when that big metal thing goes back into it?
Lower the shields.
And now here's the scene where the supposed badass Captain Phasma, Lord of the Stormtroopers, lets down the shields like an asshole, instead of standing up to Finn, dying, and winning the day for the First Order in the process. This whole base is looking for Rey and can't find her. These two dicks just happen to luck out and find her at this very moment in the movie. And they go from seeing her across the way to right in her path without so much as a wrong turn.
And their weapon will be fully charged in 10 minutes. It would take a miracle to save us now.
C-3PO somehow never saw Star Wars. Every dramatic Star Wars finale needs to be set in a giant whatchamacallit, complete with Han Solo Death Bridge, with narrow walkways and heights that would kill a Sherpa just by looking at them. Ben! Yep, Ben was named after Obi-Wan, the guy neither Leia nor Han had a real relationship with. Anyone that doesn't know at this point that Han is dead just doesn't know movies, and it makes me wish the film did more to hide this reveal. It's not Star Wars if someone doesn't fall 1,000 stories. Leia can sense when Han has been killed halfway across the galaxy, but still no idea where her living Jedi brother is without a f***ing map. Do I have that right? Chewie scores a hit against Kylo, and then suddenly the stormtroopers are alerted to his presence, as if the 2 very loud Chewbacca growls during Han's death didn't do that in the first place. Also, Chewie stops firing at Kylo Ren because stormtroopers start shooting at him. Chewbacca's been through a lot of shit. He knows how well they aim. He could have shot Kylo at least 10 more times before engaging with them. Speaking of which, so could Rey and Finn, but they just stand there.
Admiral, their weapon will fire in 2 minutes.
More like 10, but it sounds super urgent, doesn't it?
Traitor!
Why is this supposed to be an insult? It's not like Finn made friends in the First Order and it's some huge betrayal.
Come get it!
Kylo does not have to engage with Finn in a lightsaber duel. He can just throw him with a little Force magic, but he gets in a lightsaber duel anyway. I realize it's possible Finn is a Force user and doesn't know it. In fact, I'd say it's positive, since otherwise someone as powerful as Kylo's been shown to be should finish Finn off in about 3 seconds flat. Did you see what he did to Rey? And she is a Force user. Well, damn, that shit's just awesome right there. We will remove 3 sins for this badassery. Oh yeah, better cut back to the copy-paste space battle for a second so everyone remembers that's going on right now too.
Weapon fully charged in 30 seconds.
Nope. Sure is good of the planet to wait to explode so they can have this fight. Rey strikes Kylo in the face with a lightsaber and it does not kill him. And oh, a perfect rift just formed between them so that sequels can happen. Thank the Force, Rey and Finn were both on the same side of the sudden gorge that appeared. Tonight, the role of Lord of the Rings Eagles will be played by Chewbacca. Massive planet explodes, but as long as you show the ships flying away from it, there's no way that big explosion can catch up to them. Right now, Rey's thinking, how do I tell this woman I stood and gaped as her husband was betrayed and killed by a guy we all should have realized was evil? Or she's thinking, this is a really long hug with a stranger. R2 suddenly wakes up because time to end this thing with one last emotional whammy. R2-D2, meet a better you. BB-8, meet the previous holder of the cutest Star Wars droid title. I still don't understand this map. Like, do you actually need to follow the path Luke draws out in orange on this thing? Wouldn't a simple dot that says I am here suffice? And leaving R2 with everything except one missing piece? Were you worried someone was gonna hack into him? Having found her long-lost brother she's been searching for years, Leia sends the strange girl she just met and Chewbacca. Why isn't she going herself? Also, where the f is Lando? Man, they destroyed the Starkiller base and found Luke Skywalker all in one day. That's like probably the best day the Resistance will ever have. Do you think Luke was maybe a passenger on Oceanic Flight 815? Jeez, this is an awful lot of staring and silence for this moment. I guess Luke is stunned that someone solved his deviously plotted map. Foiled again! And honestly, I'd rather have the movie end with Rey flying off to look for Luke, as opposed to this final scene of her finding him and him looking old and tired. This entire final scene is fan service, plain and simple, and it makes no sense for the actual story. The story, as presented, ends more naturally on the mystery of not knowing if Rey even finds Luke. But whatever, you sold your toys, so who gives a shit, right?
You know, sometimes you make a copy of a copy, it's not quite as sharp as, well, the original. Well, that's kind of what happened. Leeds loved it. He loved it because he was, you know, very experimental.
And we got a great deal on it, too.
Ever since CinemaSins began, the most requested thing has been TV Sins, and now it's a reality. Click the link in the description below to check it out. And now, the audio outtakes.
Stay alive, no matter what occurs. I will find you.
Sir, the villagers.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Turn here.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
I have got to get me one of these!
Hey, what's your name? FN2187. F... what? That's the only name they ever gave me. That, we're calling you McLovin.
Take care of yourself.
But I guess that's what you're best at, isn't it?
I shouldn't have gone in there. Don't go in there. Promise me you don't go in there. Me go in there? That's the last place I want to go. Like, I'm gonna go in there. Try getting a boner now.
Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Hate does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! I like it!
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
I love you.
I know.
You have to go back.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!
Meta Man Express Elevator. Dyna Guy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No kicks.